Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to turn this light off for a few. Okay, so I have a message of the day. I have a union and twin flame read. Let's go ahead first and take a deep breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Okay. So first I want to ask you a favor to send a lot of love. My nephew's having major spine surgery on the 12th of August. So if you guys could send a little love, I'd appreciate it. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to roll the die, and then I'm going to show you the pictures, and then we'll get going here. So for the twin flames, the dice say we have Venus here. We have Taurus. And we have number 1, very masculine energy there. All right, so Taurus can be very fixed and stubborn energy. And Mercury is actually Venus, so we have a lot of love energy coming up here, and that can be associated with Libra and Taurus. And then we have Taurus again, and then we have 1, which is the Magician, which also represents Gemini or Virgo can be as well. Sometimes I get Aries from the Magician as well. That very directed, focused, masculine energy. So let's see where that takes us. I want to show you the pictures I have first. And I was out lying in the grass this morning taking pictures of the sun. Again, seeing something moving. I posted it, but I don't know what it is. And just laying in the grass for about 50 minutes was really nice, just not thinking about anything and just relaxing out there. And the birds were so beautiful. I don't know if you noticed. I know I have some buzz. There's ticking on my the recording, or I guess the outer recording on the iPad doesn't work well. I don't know if it's broken because it ticks like that, but sorry about that underlying ticking noise. Okay, so we have the union read here, which is the 4D, 5D, 6D, incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, underlying energy and closing energy here. Divine feminine on the left, masculine right, and the bridge between and between. This is the Syrian Starseed deck, and here's the twin flame read that you see the 7 deck read in front of you on the table. So again, there's a lot of energy here. It is a general reading for the twin flames, so don't force it to fit if something doesn't resonate with you. And here is the message of the day, which I'm going to do first. And here are just some of the pictures that I took today. They were pretty cool. Let me see if I can get that focused in even better. Okay. That one, and then bird diving. The sun is like a man like leaning over to pick something up in the sun. That was kind of cool. And then there's a dragonfly. And again, that thing, whatever it is, next to the sun. 3 birds. And just the sun was really cool here. It kind of looks like a guy with a winter coat on here with a hood. And then we have just this one last picture. It looks like there's a guy leaning across the sun here, or 2 trying to reach across the sun to each other, like a bridging. And again, there's the guy leaning over, picking something up. Okay, so let's get on to this. Okay, the message of the day. Message of the day. Okay, so the underlying energy was the key, and the first card out was the Loving Lady along with the Storks, which is one of my favorite cards in that deck. It's the 2 storks nesting with the golden egg. So the key to freedom, release, with the Loving Lady at the nest at the Y in the road, with the golden egg looking up, and perhaps she's looking forward to someone coming home, bridging or crossing bridges publicly to the white peacock, which I looked up the white peacock on universeofsymbolism.com, and the white peacock was the divine self realized, purified and cleansed. The illuminated soul self is seen, witnessing self resurrected from the fire of fear and the shadows of doubt. The most beautiful of outcomes. So it's paraphrased, it's not the whole quote. But again, that's the white peacock, two storks bridging to public life, or illumined one waiting on the other side of twin bridges. Perhaps a party, a concert, a business meeting, reunion, retreat, riot, or picnic, networking and digging a bit deeper, healing emotions and water or thirst quenched. Be careful what you wish for. Public highways to get there, but first diving deep with the power lady looking after the puppy's or the child's or the innocent one's best interest, making sure not to rush into anything without looking where you are going. The fox may bump into a mountain, or the puppy may be led by the fox, if they don't get walked by the owner soon. Or about time the puppy grows up and faces their own obstacles and challenges, with luck waiting on the other side, perhaps 3 wishes too, and stardom as well, where there are always some pests hanging around, or little thieves, crossing bridges or burning bridges, a gamble with the unknown, public education or university setting, needing to look closer at the drinking the water issues, literally well water, and is it safe and clean? Also the poison apples and snake between the power lady and mama bear or powers that be, perhaps needing to discern which one is actually toxic and which one is loyal to you. Here the lady looking after the pup is concerned about the snake between her and the polarized powers, but the puppy is wanting them to pick up their leash or hire them or lead them into the sun, feeling that the time is right. The fox cutting ties to anchor at the mountain at 218, which is the high priestess and the moon. So anchoring at the mountain or the beach, or moving away from the country or ranch to the mountain, perhaps that's not near the ocean. Good fortune with wise counsel before navigating through the maze, or a clarion call, being drawn to your highest version or galactic connections, hope, dreams, and rising above, petty annoyances, spiritually maturing here, home burdened by the unknown and multiple faces and masks to decipher, and then on a journey, passing the test, receiving a gift of commitment that is exposed as the ring of fire approaches, a chance or a choice to make for the frustrated man who may be impatient here to do what he has to do, after good luck and advice and their 3 wishes, to include rest, a break, dealing with a death, a doctor or needles, or the 5D connecting to come together 2 as 1 in that ideal relationship or job. Loving home and community, but it's time the child seeks their true north node of adventure, to collapse all timelines and create something new. The loving man with a breakthrough, of gifts perhaps, committing to family shadow work, subconscious, and mid-moon for abundance. And then again, August 1st was coming up as a good time there. And also good time, abundant travel is coming up the 3rd to the 4th of August. Take your time, be patient on the road, and taking time to review contracts or terms, navigating bureaucracy and restrictions that are required by this partnership and or institution. So that was the message of the day. And by the way, there's lots, you're being tested on your patience right now. I spent the last couple days dealing with Home Depot and Lowe's, both screwed up royally, and of course 10 million calls, which I probably brought up already. And then what was the other thing I was dealing with today? I can't even remember. Oh, my air conditioning. I probably need Freon on my air conditioning, so it started getting hot yesterday in my house. So just all these things, and you're being. This is always that period of testing, right? Because this is graduation time. Are you able to overcome these things without getting triggered by them? So we're going to get into the union read and then the twin flame read. All right. So the union read is the 4D, 5D, and 60. This was done at 3 p.m. yesterday. A lot of zeros or source energy. Backing up the 3, which is Gaia. It's the Empress. It's also abundance coming together. And the main energy here and the underlying energy here was the Tower. The central energy was the Hanging Man, and then the final card was the Four of Cups here. So in the Tower of drama and sudden events, epiphanies and or sex, hanging out with a right knee block and wishing on a star, perhaps. The Divine Feminine's epiphanies reaching far and wide, leaving a wake for others to see a new perspective on anger issues and a reason for a time out. To stay out of the fray and focus up at the stars, to channel and focus on only the highest energy of all, love. The incoming Divine Feminine here is the Five of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. The Divine Feminine dancing in the humid sun, present to the stillness of fiery triangles, curious about abilities or what crystal ball has in store, or after conflict, what blessing in disguise it brought you. Hiding from the sun and covering your eyes, or playing hide and seek alone, purging or laying low. The 4D here is the Five of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords, where the Divine Feminine is juggling with a blank stare perhaps, stretching and growing on a rock, perhaps at the ocean, with two aside for later. The Divine Masculine on the beach between land and sea, thinking on their break in 5D, just finished. And then it was 3:33. Okay. So, again, the Divine Masculine on the beach between land and sea, thinking on break in 5D connection, she with light face and he with dark face, and bridging between in surrender to all that is. On land, but breathing in that good-ass prana, baby, which was coming up from Ralph Smart. I don't know why, but it was. 5D here is reflection, Hanging Man, and the Seven of Pentacles, which is the Divine Feminine's heart in this deck. The Divine Feminine Hermit out back, but wanting shade. The Divine Masculine outside the Divine Feminine's heart, or the E Tower, with crystal puzzle, bridging with hanging out. But will she be out back when they arrive up front, hanging out in or out of the sun? The 6D here is the Seven of Swords, Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. The Divine Feminine passing downloads, taking a risk, perhaps with two men watching, and the Divine Masculine Knight of Wands, royal with a slow burn, keeping in golden as opposed to red hot. Bridging with the Nine of Cups service with 6 rays, self-satisfaction, and getting their wish at 3:46, which is the Empress, and the Six of Cups, the children loving each other. The Divine Feminine inner struggle, out back lighting up the dark, and back to passing downloads from above. The Divine Masculine on break, resting or 5D connection, or perhaps a beach, and then outside 5D tower, figuring out how to get in, using their sensuality. The bridge here is surrender to hanging out, perhaps at a service or frustrations and all. Surrendering to hang out, frustrations and all, in the mausoleum and Thai service for 9, or this could be a service as well. The bridge, with plenty of light to reflect their performance here. The outgoing Divine Masculine here is the Two of Cups, the Starseed, and the King of Cups, connecting for a fresh new start with unconditional love, grounding and integrating the star connection, perhaps Long Island, Plum Island connection, because Plum Island is right at the end of Long Island there. It could actually be the same rock, the same island underneath the water. And then distant cousins coming up here perhaps as well. Okay, so the number overall for this union read was 54, which is the Page of Swords, which is the message, whether that's online or a text message, something small, or it could be an air sign child as well. And then the horizontal pillars came out to 27 and 27, which is Judgment, the Chariot, and the Ace of Wands. And the vertical ones came out to 5, 9, 12, 11, 11, 2, 4, and then again the 54 Page of Swords. So that is the Hierophant, the Hermit, the Hanging Man, 2 Justices, and then the High Priestess and the Emperor. So the messages were coming up as decision or judgment to ascend passionately with a message. With Aquarius and Cancer on that side, in a wake-up call to ascend with flame with a message. Also double jeopardy and double indemnity both coming up. Hierophant and Hermit hanging out in double indemnity or double jeopardy. Hung out to dry or hung jury. The High Priestess and the Emperor, or secretly controlled with a message. And there's a lot of signs coming up on this side. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn or Pisces, Libra, Pisces, and Aries. Also the inner war, the war within, and hanging or hung out to dry. 1111, the Queen of Wands with a message, or that Queen of Wands can be instead the High Priestess and the Emperor. Okay, so then the twin flame read that's in front of you. First, yesterday afternoon, but right before I did this, I was out back, or I was in the kitchen looking out back, and I saw a cardinal on the ground by the back fence, a bright red cardinal, and it was like it was reminding me of the card, the Eight of Pentacles, where the masculine's out the side of the castle or the back of the castle, working with crystals. That was the cardinal in the backyard. It was really funny. Grounded by a little tree. And then I cut this deck at 444, which is the angelic realms. And this was for today, the 29th. And then at 5:35, F orbs came up, which can be F orbs, like thoughts and words, blind men and orphans, or it can be expanding and contracting or reflecting thoughts and words, blind men and orphans. And then as I was clarifying the cards on the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles, so the Two of Pentacles is right here, how the twins see themselves. And as I was clarifying that card, I was getting Love Rain on Me, the song by The Who. And then when I was clarifying the Queen of Swords, who's the final card up here, not the final extra card, but the final card of the read, the Queen of Swords, I was getting the Queen of Sheba, which I've never gotten that before. I finished clarifying at 6:15, which is the Lovers and the Devil, right? And they're basically the same card in love and light and dark. But then my daughter also called me between that time, before I started the full read here. Or actually, I called her. Okay, so I finished at 6:15. The major arcana were Justice and Alchemy. And Alchemy is like the Temperance card. And before the read, we had Starseed and Guidance. Starseed's like the Fool, and Guidance is the Temperance card, is the Hierophant. We had 3 Pentacles, 2 Swords, 3 Cups, 1 Wand. We had the Court cards in the read. We had 3 nines in the read. So 9 of Pentacles, which is the Sovereign, 9 of Swords, which is the one suffering in silence, and Page of Cups, Queen of Swords were in the main part of the read. Before the read was the Page of Wands and the King of Pentacles, and then after the read, the Knight of Wands. And then as far as the numbers, we had triple nines, like I said, so a lot of endings, compassion needed, universal selflessness, and the collective consciousness. We also had double 7s and 5s, which is the 77 of the Sovereign, 9 of Pentacles, and the 55 of the Ace of Swords, the Truth. And so we also had 5, 6, 7, Made in Heaven, 57 of the 3 of Swords, 79 of the Pot of Gold at the end of the rainbow. The number 2 was really important here, the High Priestess, the feminine energy, and 25, the Knight of Wands, 9, 10, begin again and again and again, keep coming back to center again. And then we also had 23 of the King of Wands, 45 of the 5 of Cups, and that's it. The code line was there was no numerology card on the code line today. So it was just about the message, which wasn't really specific, so we'll see where that goes. But the number on the code line was 974, coming from 962, 5, and 7. And 974 reduces to 20, which is the Judgment card. So if that relates to any of you guys, let me know. So the messages I got here were around the key. The key kept coming up a couple times in definitions, and the SIM card was coming up here, SIM. But also there's a lot of definitions for SIM, so that could be simulator and a lot of other things. So again, key SIM Of the 9, the Hermit, the Wise One, or collective consciousness regarding the Lovers, home, family, and community. The number 6, or Sophia 9, which is the Divine Feminine collective. 2 of unity consciousness, expanding by a show of power up. Divine justice, a synchronistic key here. We have to boil, perhaps the collective consciousness, and actually I'm boiling, right, because my air conditioning went out. To boil collective consciousness, or perhaps a copy. To boil a carbon copy, someone boiling a piece of paper. To boil CC, we'll just leave it at that. In prison, a prison office, or lovers that are 2 of Christ consciousness, expanding their show of power up in divine justice and seeing bad spirits here. Perhaps to get, to keep you in line, to get you back to, clearing every day in your spiritual practice. So time out here, or the key being the needle, the heart, or the bird. 962 coming up here, as well as ink and Jordan, and the country of Jordan was coming up. The Needlecraft Group, which is also in Jordan, which is an apparel company. I don't know why they were coming up. But also, when I looked up this information, Jim Jordan was coming up, the Republican from Ohio, where he admitted that he spoke to Trump on January 6th, which had to do with the riots at the Capitol. Was it before or after the attack? And then Pelosi was involved with that too, who barred him from serving on the House Select Committee investigating the riot that day. Also, Jordan's prince, Hamza, may be called and accused of undermining the authority of the king, Abdullah II. And that was coming up from aljazeera.com. That's ALJAZEERA.com. And again, there is a reference to Jordan's king being warmer with the current president than the old, more difficult relationship with the ex-president. Okay, so 658 is the Lovers and the 58 of the 4 of Swords, which also can be the 5D connection. Key name or simulator of wise lovers. 2 of unity consciousness, powering up. Divine justice and seeing bad spirits, or choice of vessels, dogs, or synchronicity, or dirt to steal. That could be like dirt to dig up on somebody here with synchronicity. Somebody might be using synchronicities to dig up dirt on someone, whether stealing somebody else's synchronicities to dig up dirt, or however that plays out. 9 of Pentacles is the sovereign, is the first underlying energy here. Beneath it is the 3 of Wands upright, the Starseed reversed, Page of Wands upright, and the King of Pentacles upright, and Guidance upright. So presently, being the sovereign, which is totally empowered, you have everything you could ever want except for perhaps a partner, and that doesn't mean you want a partner right now. But it is the single, it's like the ultimate single person, right? They have everything. Presently lacking faith or not getting any downloads. It is kind of quiet right now as far as downloads. The Page of Wands inspired with the King of Pentacles guidance to be sovereign, or excited King of Pentacles to marry a sovereign in energetic exchange with Leo, kids, pets, or being strong, or sovereign training their pet, or a lot of talk about getting one, talking about visiting each other as well, currently falling on face or from grace, or no good downloads today, or no bombs dropped, which may be a good thing. The Page of Wands excited by show of worship, as the King of Pentacles gives guidance to the 9 of Pentacles sovereign, or is committed to his own sovereignty. Aries reversed, and Taurus, Leo, and Sag all upright right here. Perhaps 2 Taurus-y earth signs with lots of fire around them, or kids and pets. Hierophant and Leo, child or pet, or Hierophant leader or Taurus being firm with the family, perhaps without a car, or not moving or traveling, or broke down, broke up, in, out, or through. Destined, Page of Cups and Queen of Cups both reversed here, which can be 2 siblings, a mother and child, but either or just 2 water signs, not going around the world. So it could be like a family where, the funds weren't good this year, so they're not going to be able to travel this year, or not going around the world, or not going to be able to get home from halfway around the world, or perhaps halfway around the world with the mother. So someone might have actually, there could be a custody war here where someone takes them out of the country and not bringing the kids back. Or the Page of Cups reversed and Queen of Cups reversed, destined to be unhappy with the Divine Feminine in the 5D, with justice, divorce, or Libra soulmates, or with second set of kids or pets. So there could be two sets of kids coming together where one set, perhaps the older set of kids, isn't so crazy about the fact they're not going to be the young kids anymore. Or female judge decided off with her head, and Jesus and Thoth are not so good with that. Or divine feminine Libra or upside down world, or male Libra and Pisces child are missing each other. Or judge stepping down or needing closure, or almost done a big cycle, no shoes on here for the adult, but piggy toes or little ones could get cut off and it's not allowed. And this could be a child too complaining, why do the adults get to do it and I can't? The divine feminine in 5D or Pisces and Libra coming together to support kids in nature and balance. Or two older kids upset having to accept two younger ones. Taurus and Leo upright, as well as Libra, two Libras perhaps, and then Cancer and Pisces reversed right here, and fire signs perhaps next door. The sun is out, exposing all, fully energized, presenting or presently out of alignment and stuck or refusing to work or budge. Gift of box cutters, or just no balls, or streetcar named Desire, and again no balls, or disabled, or refusing to move. This could be the one, and on top here is playfulness, so be playful. And sweet. It's like the kids being very sweet to each other. Or loyal, humble worker, B, on break in the sun or with kids, imbalanced relationship of addiction and codependency here. The Queen of Swords with Man in the Mirror, unable to get the truth out of her at 733, which is the Chariot and the Christ vibration, or standing up for oneself without getting triggered. The Sovereign obsessing about being unable to mark their territory, or no longer having that territory. At 735, the Chariot and the Wounded Warrior, unable to crack codes or cut cords, and addiction is out of control, needing detox or to hurry up and piece it back together again, so someone might have broken something, without proper instructions. Or good cop, bad cop, trying to get them to break or crack. One may be depressed or alcoholic, and the other one may be deeply wounded by the man in the mirror and unable to get to the truth, and or obsessively peeing, or looking at himself down there, or obsessed about shaving, or sewing buttons back on. Someone's obsessing, to fix something quickly after a shirt perhaps was ripped off, and then now trying to get themselves looking presentable, so no one sees them that way. So someone, I don't know what they're doing here, but 742 is the Chariot and the Two of Cups with parenting, and 63, which is suffering in silence regarding parenting or perhaps a sister that someone's parenting, and then financial discipline, which is 48, walking away and within of the Eight of Cups. So we have the Devil on fire, unable to call, or choked about calling, and the King of Pentacles reversed about bliss. Patient fire swallower, working hard for lover or sex, or burdened by lover when fireworks go off with two bucks watching their every move that sometimes they seem like it's just two dolphins playing when they're in the midst of it. So it's like, it reminds me of something I can't bring up about my son. It was a very cute situation when he was very young. But I'm getting the energy of like someone having sex, right? And when they're in the midst of that, the two buck that are always on their case watching them, it seems like they're just two dolphin playing in the background. I'm getting this feeling and imagery of, right, where usually I'm being in prison because I'm being watched really closely. When that happens, all of a sudden it feels like there's just dolphins jumping out of the water around me. The man on the run trying to keep their legs shut or claws clamped. Capricorn and Sagittarius starting a fire that can't be put out. The King of Pentacles reversed, not heeding the call, or with poor judgment, perhaps made a bad decision, or the King of Pentacles reversed is an Aquarius. Gemini or twins here as well. Lovers, Nine of Pentacles sovereign, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Six of Cups soulmates or children perhaps, detoxing parenting and purging it out. The underlying energy is the Eight of Cups and the Three of Cups, walking away from the party or walking away to joy. And then going forward after this read is like dumping a load, burden, or responsibility, exposed to the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community of dysfunction or loss or misappropriations, suddenly exploding in a sudden event, an epiphany or sex, and out in the cold with the Knight of Wands to the rescue. Feeling a failure in a breakup, or without affection, or under the radar, non-physical lover on a quest to find the one and take a gamble, or guess which one it is. Recently here is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower, in need of attention and depressed or needing to heal. The Queen of Pentacles reversed with happy family at war with the Six of Cups, who are loving each other and getting over their loss and or regret by breaking patterns and dropping the act, or tripping up in front of the Divine Feminine's heart, or reaping rewards of daydreaming, the constant gardener here. Home with the King of Pentacles, unaware of the whole truth coming in, or unaware that their head's going to be on a platter. Or the Queen of Pentacles reversed may have slipped and let the truth out of the bag about the King of Pentacles, secret soulmate, heavily guarded. The foundation here is the Six of Cups upright. Again, the kids are soulmates loving each other, whether it's the inner kids or outer kids, and excited or inspired here by the Emperor reversed. So he may be stepping down, or there could be a whole bunch of people going to jail right here. The Emperor reversed stepping down, or him and the Magician reversed and the King of Swords reversed all going to prison, so this could be public news. Or the King of Swords reversed and the Emperor reversed imprisoned by each other, or are holding a hostage between them. The central energy here is the Nine of Swords reversed, trying to end the nightmare, the suffering in silence, or dealing with a sister, or over the children, or purging over the children. Maybe you're worried about things, decisions they're making. And Hermit with light, standing up for themselves, for walking away from the Divine Feminine in the 5D bliss, or Pisces reversed, now that the worst is over, of rumors and or negative self-talk at 804, which is strength, and the 4 of the Emperor. Or that can also be the manifestation of dreams and the manifestation of survival. Okay, and again, the energy of, so what happened a couple years later, right, in a reunion type of energy? Whatever happened to them down the road? Did they work out? Did that thing work out? That kind of energy is coming up here. Reunions to find out what actually happened at the end of the day. The challenge being divine justice for the King of Wands, with bad news, rumors, or low self-esteem, or child whose mouth is out of control, or just super immature communication here. Being relieved of a burden or physical injury, destined to hang out with the High Priestess or an aide, or Pisces or Virgo. Someone ran away or almost got away, but ran right into a near-death experience, a hit and run, or a theft between Scorpio reversed and Libra upright. Arrogance and dissatisfaction with the wounded warrior now pissed off. Someone may have fallen and seriously got injured, or got hit by a car when they were in a hurry, not looking where they were going. Deception of the Page of Cups reversed, or up before dawn, unable to express their feelings, but excited to get their wish by ending the nightmare with patient angel or Sagittarius or a higher love with the Emperor reversed, where the Emperor reversed is with their aide or nurse, and this also could be like a nun or a religious person, and the Page of Pentacles child, or has an opportunity outside the party with a bouncer at the door. So the Page of Pentacles child, or an opportunity outside the party. So they're coming in. It's like they're trying to come in. The Emperor reversed and the Page of Pentacles, but there's a bouncer at the door. So whether it's a private party or a bar or something like that, there's a guard at the door. A big work party, or a showing that flopped or fell on their face, or somebody embarrassed themselves drinking too much here. Now here is the Page of Cups reversed, fighting the establishment at work with the world upside down, or the cycle almost complete or over, or Pisces reversed and Cancer upright, traveling or moving while waiting for their lover. The King of Pentacles is with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, dealing with loss or dysfunction here, or again, a misuse of money, time, or effort, of an angel or patient or Sagittarius stepping off their path to a higher love, starting over by getting off the fence or closing the gate, with the Emperor reversed and dysfunctional family, which has been no fantasy here. The Page of Cups reversed, offering a big opportunity or offered a big opportunity. to start over and correct an imbalance with the Queen of Cups reversed. Overwhelmed Page of Cups lacking faith, with the King of Cups suddenly offering a new passion to the Empress reversed, with an invitation perhaps. And the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups both reversed here, and the Knight of Cups can be the same as the Page of Cups, it's just in two different places. But they're not happy about it, or overwhelmed family, with Pisces reversed or Page of Cups reversed, and the King of Cups Scorpio, and Empress reversed, with an opportunity. So the King of Cups and the Empress reversed are together, but he's upright, she's not. And there may be some kids here who are not happy about them being together at all, or with an opportunity or doing research on the gold coin, which also can be gold as well. Evil Empress reversed, with dysfunctional family, embarrassing themselves, receiving passion or sexual energy from the Queen of Cups reversed and or the Knight of Cups reversed, or that can just be her action of jealousy or feeling rejected. Or with someone who's insincere here, but they're both reversed. It seems like they're siblings or a couple, and neither one of them are happy here or being emotional. Or they were caught having sex in the chair. This could be kids got caught in the chair, or got caught having sex energetically in the chair, and the Empress reversed exploded. Or the King of Cups upright is with the Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups both reversed, and the Page of Cups reversed, who are all unhappy with his connection to the Empress reversed that he sees as an opportunity. The Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue, seeing synchronicities of the Knight of Cups reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, perhaps without a car, or stuck, kicked out, or they had their keys taken away because they were drunk. Soon as Alchemy upright, speaking of drinking, Alchemy upright though, a higher love between the High Priestess hanging out and the King of Wands destined, the King of Wands without lover or just broke up, Libra upright and Capricorn upright. Oh, that was weird. That it was like a half a ring that just came through. And that was talking about the break. King of Wands without lover or just broke up, and then I got a half a ring, and it got cut right off. Libra upright, Capricorn upright, or Pisces upright here, and Gemini reversed. Perhaps detoxing, in disconnect with someone, not seeing eye to eye, or at a distance, not being able to see each other face to face. Or Gemini broke up in detox or at a distance and keeping to themselves, and then presenting the big whole truth about the deception and or embarrassment at 834, which is the Strength card, and the 34 of the 8 of Wands, that energetic exchange back and forth, which can be the arrows of love, it can be communication or travel. So the Queen of Pentacles is reversed, standing up for herself to receive what's owed them or for a new life. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Two of Pentacles reversed, perhaps after surrendering to all that is, choosing a new path, celebrating at a service, or coming together to announce and wake up others to justice, truth, and balance, as the Queen of Swords is separated by the courts or by an ocean without peace and suffering day and night, or purging a lot to end the suffering. Aquarius and Libra both upright here, coming together with the twin flames. The religious factors comes up here, new love, deception, and then true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. Around the twins are how they're seen as the Five of Wands. Conflicted, this can be competition, this can be outright battles, but it also can be acting in the pursuit of happiness. But it's coming up as conflicted with group or coming together at work, holding on, saving, grounding, and being practical at 840, which is Strength, and then the Page of Cups, in separation with a sovereign, with all the money perhaps. And the block here being the Seven of Cups, the synchronicities, and the steps to take after the truth and embarrassment came out. Cancer and Aries both reversed here. Flirting and casual sex, with big love at work, showing their muscle. The Queen of Swords at a party with guard at the door, keeping out. The Emperor reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright. Or the Emperor reversed is willing to pay to get in, or there's no entry without a mask or vax. The Queen of Swords could be an Aquarius here shedding, or at rest, or hermit with light, or the High Priestess outside while everyone is sleeping, or that High Priestess and King of Wands were hanging out in a 5D connection. Or the Queen of Swords is drunk at the party, making a fool of themselves after finally coming out and getting too drunk and then perhaps having sex, And then the Knight of Swords reversed, seeing synchronicities of the Knight of Cups reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, perhaps ending up at an emergency room, or perhaps their car broke down, or perhaps they weren't allowed to drive because they were drunk. Or either may have been kicked out or injured on crutches, the worst now over with the Nine of Cups reversed, dissatisfied or not getting their way. There can be arrogance there too. With the Knight of Wands rushing in to get over the loss and regret and have sex, or at least on fire, not used to being turned down. The Knight of Wands needing to tame the beast in energetic exchange with the Sovereign. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a few oracle cards. I woke up at my birthday this morning, so there is some alignment here, and I'm losing my voice right now. There is, what I was going to say was about, really keeping a low profile, low key. Like I said, it's been really hot for me, so because my air conditioning's not working right now. So I just feel much more lethargic today than usual because of that. It's just, being tested. And again, like I said, not today so much, but yes, the past 3 days were all about being challenged to see if you were going to get triggered or freak out. And now it's just time to go within and meditate, take it easy. It's always time for joy and happiness. So anything that's fun for you to do, nothing heavy, just keep it light. And let's see what the animal deck says here about all this. The Animal Spirit Guidebook for the Twin Flames. What is our message here? Okay, there's 3 cards coming out together. So let's see. I'm going to turn the light on for this so you can see the cards better. So the 3 cards that came out together, the horse, the cheetah, and the whale. And this for me, I call God Mr. Ed. He always comes up as Saggy. And so here he is with his crescent moon at his forehead there. Wait a minute. I just have to see what's coming out here on the other end. All right, because there's a couple bunches. All right, first the bottom of the deck is the vulture. All right, so again, he's the cleanup crew, right? Coming up to clean up whatever's left over. That's his role, right? You see him as a bad guy, right? But he's actually a cleanup crew. And then we have the dragon behind that, right? It's very. I'll read you the dragon because that's been coming up a lot this week. Keeping their eye on things, and it's like they're backing up the vulture. It's like the 2 sides of the coin coming together to be an example for others. Showing them that they can get along. When the dragon and the vulture can get along, there could be a negative connotation between that. That could be reptilian vulture type of energy. That's not the message I'm getting. All right, so we have the horse and the cheetah and the whale together. And this for me is Mr. Ed, and these 2 are coming to Mr. Ed for guidance. It's like they're coming to Mr. Ed from around the world, right? Perhaps people that wouldn't normally go to Mr. Ed. And the third eye on his head there is coming up as gold with a little bit of orange there, which is actually the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. It's like he's advertising for lower chakra people. 3D people, step right up. I'm here to help you. And there's the cheetah, which is very much that same energy. You see it's radiating out. He's just like mesmerized by coming in now, which maybe he wouldn't normally be. Very interested, right? It's like, lead me to your master, right? And then we have the whale, who normally is very wise and profound, but they are also coming in to help clear this dark energy, right? Because we're displacing the water with all of the rainbow light. So all of the dark energy is being forced out into the atmosphere, which may need to be cleared elsewhere. So the whale could be actually coming to Mr. Ed for guidance on how to do this without affecting our galactic friends, right? Because the whale is already very highly spiritual. And what does the vulture have to do with all this in the underlying energy? Because he's just standing there. It's like the vulture's there too, listening. He's pretending like he didn't come to Mr. Ed, but he's like in the background because he does want to come to Mr. Ed, but he doesn't want anyone to know. There's that energy. All right. And again, that could be people going to God or source energy or whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. It's all the same love energy. But people are going to that who may never have been that way before and are embarrassed to admit doing something like that to others, especially if they didn't believe in God. And it doesn't have to be the word God. Again, it can be source, prime creator. It can be more scientific. You know, my father wasn't a religious person at all, but he very much believed in how all the cells of the body worked in tandem as one, which is the exact same energy as, you know, that we're all that energy of God, the collective consciousness. So these two also are coming out together, the phoenix rising and the sea serpent, which is the sacral chakra. So again, I told you with Mr. Ed, we have the gold and the orange coming up here. And this is very orange and gold. And then we have this representing the sacral chakra, which is the orange chakra. So it's like merging the gold and the sacral and the solar plexus chakras. It's like they're merging. Here, just give me a second. Okay, it's definitely about the divine masculines, you know, burning through their clearings, right, as the phoenix rising from the ashes, while the dark, or the vulture, is still standing here, trying to keep the snake open, you know, keep opening gates, or keep, you know, so that it's not sealed around the earth, right, the 4D bridge around the earth that is sealed, so then all the rainbow energy went into the collective to awaken them. And it's like the dark who keep trying to reopen it again so that we won't awaken, which isn't going to happen. It's already sealed. But again, this is the divine masculine. It's like, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's a very, you know, major, significant healing that happens, like almost spontaneously. It's like it's like a rapture. It burns through it like that. And the dark is trying to stop this from happening, but they're not going to. All right, so then we have three more cards came out after that. We have the crow and the oyster and the unicorn. And the crow, again, is like the divine feminine collective standing guard now that the rainbow bridge has gone into the collective. Okay, you see all of the dark energy being pushed out to our galactic friends, and that's why the whale was coming to Mr. Ed to see what can we do about this. And then we have the oyster, which I can't remember who came up as this. Was this Aquarius? I can't remember. In my astrological reads, somebody was coming up as the oyster. But again, this is about keeping yourself, keeping your boundaries sealed off, right? So you aren't affected perhaps by the spray here. And again, the oyster and clam have to do with, you know, creating the pearl inside, right? They want to keep it really safe while that's going on. It's the bacteria that got in there. But they're working on clearing out the whole center before opening the clam. So before opening the gates, they want to make sure it's all the bacteria is cleared out. So again, not opening the gates to let anyone out until they know everything's been solidified within and everyone is awakening. Then they can open a gate, but not until. It's like the gates are sealed shut. And then here's the unicorn coming in with their third eye opening. So again, until the third eye are open of the collective, the gates are sealed. And again, we have both confirming this. We have the earth with the rainbow energy in it here and in this picture, where it's come off of the Kundalini and gone into the collective, okay? The 4D bridge has now awakened, you know, now that the gatekeepers are all awakened, the masculine and the feminine, it is now going into the collective here. But the gates are sealed until the third eyes are all open. Very interesting. So I'm going to read to you the horse, which is Earth, I believe. Yep. So the horse is momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck, okay, which for us would be, right, the source energy we look up to. It provides us with momentum, so reliable, so supportive, that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina or exercise and mental focus or meditation are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. When they're in balance, they can achieve anything. They never give up. And when they're out of balance, they run away and feel weak. To bring into balance, strength training. So perhaps some of you need to start working out. Okay. But again, just do what resonates with you. You're your final teacher. For some of you, that may not be true. Okay. And, oh, I wanted to read to you the dragon as well. So that's been coming up a lot this week. Is the dragon the root? No. So the phoenix is the root chakra. The dragon is the solar plexus. Yeah. So the dragon's the solar plexus and the root. And then here we have, so this could be representing the root and the, this is the sacral. So we have the sacral solar plexus with the dragon, but the dragon's in the underlying energy. It's like we've already been to the dragon. We've already been to the solar plexus. So now they want us to focus more on the red and orange energies of the root and the sacral chakras. But I want to read you the dragon anyway, because it's been coming up a lot this week. Someone seeing one's most true self and balancing the ego. This is in the underlying energy. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It's almost as if we're traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride. And as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, that their Agni is dim. It is described as the inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. And the third chakra. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center in the Manipura chakra. Manipura? Translates to the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe the health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to clearly see both the inner and outer dimensions. So some of you may have been called to do some detoxes as far as your intestines in the past few weeks, because that's now in the underlying energies. So now we're being called to things related to the sacral chakra and the root chakra again. And again, it could be awakening people who wouldn't normally look to their spirituality at all. You know, getting to people who just don't believe in God at all. And it's not about trying to get people to believe in God. It's trying to get them to understand that we're all the same energy. It's just going into your higher self for advice. Just taking that first step so that they can then understand the feeling and then get it, right? Just as you all went through. So let's see also from the journey of love. What's coming up for the journey of love? I'm getting too that this is like, this is the feminines, you know, they're like the grid holders, the gatekeepers around the world. And then here, while the divine masculines are, you know, ripping through their purification. What is the word I'm trying to think of? I can't think of it. Okay. So again, I showed you lots of bird pictures today too. And one of them was a bird diving, and the other picture was of 3 birds flying towards the sun. I'm just getting free bird. If I stay here with you, love, things just couldn't be the same. I'm as free as a bird now. And this bird you cannot change. Lord knows I can't change. Oh Lord, I can't change. I want you fly, free bird, yeah. Na 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 na. Anyway, you get it, but that's the energy that's coming up. All right, from the journey of love, what is the message coming off of that? And Freebird. By the way, I was at that last Frampton concert with Freebird in 10th grade. And actually, what's his name? He's reminding me of this phoenix here. Shoot, what's his name? Peter Frampton. So Peter Frampton started for Leonard Skinner in that concert, and I'm getting Peter Frampton for some reason as the phoenix, because then he would rise, right? Because he was this. Peter Frampton was the startup band, right? They weren't the lead act. But you know, of course, Peter Frampton gained his own fame, a lot of fame. But I don't know why I'm getting it. I'm just seeing him, like, you know how angelic he is. He's very feminine. I'm like seeing him with these wings on, like an angel, like flying up in the air. Peter Frampton. Bye, far, baby, it's been a sweet love. Yeah, just regrets if I were to stay with you, right? Things just couldn't be the same. And this bird cannot change. Okay, so however that comes to you, if something comes up, I'll let you know. But the 3 cards that are coming up here first, from the journey of love, we have is God Speaks. There you go, Mr. Ed. 20. That's 33 of the Christ consciousness. 29 of the 3 of Wands being present. And again, this is the spiral dance of the goddess. And again, feeling strangled or choked. Right? This is like a gangrenous fallopian tube. That's what it always reminds me of. But I also have this black ribbon, literally tied around my lamp. It's so weird. It's the exact same ribbon. And then we have, oh, tie a yellow ribbon around this old oak tree. It's saying be careful how tight you tie things, because, you know, even with a tree, you can, you know, cause damage. And then we have yin yang lovers of 8, which is the dance between the masculine and the feminine. And again, the feminine bending over backwards. She doesn't need to bend over backwards. Bending over backwards, you could cut off your air supply, and the air supply is now coming up too. That's so funny. Peter Frampton, air supply, Skinner, who else? I'm getting tears for fears now too. Oh, that's so weird. Tie a yellow ribbon round this old oak tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still love me? And 3 years is what comes up in the Garden of Gethsemane as well. I'll get on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. Just tie a yellow ribbon around that old oak tree. Okay, so that's coming up. I actually have 3 ribbons around my tree. I have violet, magenta, and gold. Anyway, saying be careful about strangulation or choking yourself. And again, when you bend, are you sitting on your legs too long, you know, choking your vessels off, bending over backward, right? Maybe be careful about hurting your back. Oh, that's so funny too, because the size of these little guys looks like the thing in my pictures from this morning next to the sun. Like, what is it? Right? And this is coming up as the central sun, because this is the connection from you. This is Hieros Gamos. I'm also getting, make sure to do warm-ups, right? Make sure you do warm-ups before bending backward like this. And warm up your eggs. Warm up your eggs. Are you cooking eggs? Warm up your eggs, as in your fallopian tubes and your ovaries. Warm up your eggs. They're showing me that this and this is this, which is the pearl, which is the ovary, right? Or the egg coming through the fallopian tube. How do you like, green eggs and ham here. How do you like your eggs? You know, do you like your eggs overcooked? So it's saying this is the strangulation here, is like overcooking your eggs. Like, don't dry them out. Maybe they're giving you some kind of message about a problem that you've had. The reason why you're having trouble getting pregnant, or the reason why you have dry skin, because you're cutting off the supply to something. Or maybe something's stuck in you, like maybe there's something that always bothers you and there's something stuck there that needs to be released. And maybe that's why they're showing you to do a back bend, right? Because we sit all the time, which then makes our front contract. And you really need to stretch out these muscles here, especially in your chest, because you contract them all the time. And it may actually release something that's been a problem for you. But again, only do what you're allowed to do under your doctor's care and that kind of stuff. You know, don't do it because I said to do it. Do it because it feels right to you. Well, that was weird. I wouldn't normally get that stuff from this at all. So again, there's these cords as well. Cords and ties to the central sun, to the light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel is the egg, right? And again, it's reflecting like the sun is the masculine. They're saying the central sun is feminine energy. And there's something about hair coming up here too. Because, you know, like the little hairs, they're like little follicles at the end of your vessels. It's like this, it's coming up as the same energy, right? Don't shave off your hair. These are connectors to the higher realms. So hair is important here. It helps connect. And again, you all know that, like when you get the goosebumps or you're connecting really strongly and you know, you feel your hair sticking up all over your body. That's how you know you're having an intense connection. But again, the hairs are part of this connection. Someone bending over backwards to get pregnant. And this may be trying to tell me what the thing is in the sky this morning that I don't know what it is, whether it was Mercury or the moon or an orb or a satellite, whatever it may be, or a drone, someone was saying in the comments as well. If anyone knows what that was, let me know, because I'm not sure exactly what it was. But I'm getting a connection that these cards are trying to tell me what this is. All right, I have to read to you too. Okay, so let's see, is there anything else that wanted to come up here? All right, just counting cards, somebody's card counting. And then the bottom of the deck is the Temple. 59 is that 5 of Swords, the war within. In order to get to the temple on time, right? Getting stressed out. So the Temple within, that was coming up yesterday as well. Underneath that is Sweet Soul Rising, the 20 of Judgment. But again, it's the energy of very sweet judgment of the child, of the inner child, and being very sweet and loving at the temple, right? Not feeling judged, but only sweetly giving you information that could help you. You know, like you would get channeled if you were dealing with a medium who channels God or something like that. It would always be very kind and sweet. You know, it's not when you channel someone, they're not going to yell at you for not doing what you were supposed to be doing. They're going to give you wise, sweet guidance, but that of an inner child. And in this card, they're lined up from miles around. It's like if you build it, they will come. You know, it's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. And it won't be easy, right? It's not all smooth sailing in this card. We're not saying it's easy, but if you build it, they will come. And use the inner child's guidance to do it. Don't judge yourself harshly, you know, be kind to yourself. And then we have the intimacy coming into the vortex here. And again, it's like the record coming into the vortex, but being able to transmute all of the cyclone as well, right? Not being phased by all of the craziness going on around you, but yet being in the vortex and being in it, but not of the world as well, and yet staying in the vortex at the same time. And there's all these people down here watching it happen. Intimacy is the 35 of the wounded warrior. And remember, I told you we start out as a human wounded warrior. We don't become the wounded warrior. We are already the wounded warrior from being a stone and being plants and being animals. So the human starts out that way. And the intimacy of that we all share, that same energy of knowing. So then we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that would be the 9th. I'm getting baseball for some reason with the 9 innings, right? It's like going all 9 innings. It's like a perfect game where it ends perfectly at the end in the 9th inning. Just when you think it's going to take forever to end the game, right? Let's say there's no one scored anything, and it's the 9th inning, and you're thinking we're definitely going to go into overtime. Or let's say it's been tied for 6 innings and no one's getting any runs. You're thinking it's going to go into overtime, but it doesn't. It's like a perfect game. It's like the last thing you expected comes out there. And again, the bottom of this one is woman of the earth, man of the earth, woman of the sky, 48 walking away within. So again, here's that ball again, but it's more golden here. It's golden. So it's saying you're golden. And again, her hair is lining, all of them, these are all women laying down with putting their hair into the vortex. Okay, just like this. There's something about the hair. They're trying to get a message to me that I'm not getting. Oh, it's like, oh, Rapunzel. And this is from the Muppets. I think it was when the Count goes to the castle and says, Rapunzel, let down your hair. That's what I'm getting. Right? So it's like saying to the feminine, let down your hair so he can climb up to the tower. Very interesting. All right, what was the first card out? Was God Speaks, which isn't a long one, 33. The divine is speaking to you directly. Underneath the silence, there is the endless music of love, and I'm just getting endless love as well, pulsating throughout the universe. Within that sacred sound, there is guidance. It may or may not have words. It might have a feeling in your heart that you can only access when you are still, relaxed, dancing, in a yoga practice, or even half asleep. It assures you that behind any struggle or challenge, there is only ever the divine seeking you out, calling you to surrender some fear or doubt or other, so you can move closer. Trust in the sound of love beyond anything else, for in truth, no matter what may appear to be, there is nothing else. And remember, the sound of silence is the nothingness, which is the feminine. So they're speaking to you. The divine is speaking to you. When you're captivated by the beauty of nature or an illogical sense that everything is okay, listen. That's the divine talking to you, reassuring you that all is unfolding according to spiritual law in perfect cooperation with your own destiny. And the poem reads, when the first sound was born, the air was filled with fantasy. Like the flower's sweet perfume, alive in the moment, there was nothing else. Only the energy coursing through my body and the tears on my cheeks. I was carried away on the strings, each note striking a chord within, and answering with the emotions of my soul. How priceless the surprise, how powerful the memory to be with the violin when it sings. And I don't remember when I wrote that poem, The Hanging Violin, but I presented that to you at some point. The Hanging Violin. Well, anyway, if you're not getting anything else from that, listen to violin music because it's very high vibrational. And violin has definitely taken me to some great places in my meditations. But again, the hair, the ovary, the central sun, the whatever I saw in the sky with the sun tonight, whether it was a planet or an orb, I don't know what it was. If anyone knows what it is, let us know. But again, build it and they will come. We're in the temple. So, you know, this is how it's coming out. This is the underlying energy. You're already in the temple. First card out of God. And again, look, this is God reaching out to you and then it's like you reaching out to God and then God reaching back to you with an egg. It's like, I don't know, I'm still not sure of the message here. So let me know what you're getting, please. But this is like the two-way bridge, the twin bridges, right? One is one way and one's the other, whether it's that way or this way and then this way. I'm getting the deliverance, right? Because you deliver the egg to the uterus as God delivers to you. Deliverance. A delivery is coming. Oh, I got a delivery today, and it was very backbreaking. Not for me, but for the guy who had to pick it up. A deliverance. I'm getting that if you look upside down, you may see it. I was lying on the grass today. I don't know if that's what they're referencing. The light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I'm getting. The dance between the masculine and feminine, the yin-yang lover. God speaks. The spiral dance of the goddess. Spiraling up to the yin-yang lover, being present in the moment. This is a gift. This is a delivery of a gift of the yin-yang lover. Right? And going to the chapel's been coming up all week. Go into the chapel. Okay? And that's the message coming out. Okay, guys. Well, I do have a wedding I'm going to already in September. My nephew's getting, not the one who's having surgery, but another nephew's getting married. So, yeah, let me know what else is coming up for you guys. And I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. Take a deep breath. Rise and be loved, guys. I will see you very soon. Have an amazing day.